What's your why? What do you mean? I mean, what's your purpose in life? What are you born to do? Do you want to know how I found my answer to that question? Then join me in while I share my story with you. Hey Mindvalley, my name is Rasbinder Kaur and I'm from Malaysia. I found my why at a very young age of 10, where I remember coming back home after a tiring day at school with my sister, and we were just flickering through the channels, and suddenly I stumbled across a channel on TV. It was, I think, Hallmark, and Oprah Winfrey's show was playing during that time. And I thought to myself that okay, let's check this out. And she was actually explaining and speaking on how she came from an abusive background, and she was sharing her story on how she got raped by her father and how she emerged out of that situation, and she found her way to radio and eventually finding her true calling, which was her show. And now, being a 10-year-old, that really penetrated into my core, and I remember tearing while she was explaining her story, and something inside of me told that I want to become like her. Now, I didn't know what that was, but being a 10-year-old, I mean, it gave me really the thrill to finding it. So I started looking around my environment, be it at home and also at school. However, I found zero guidance, nobody to guide me on how do you speak on stage, right? Or how do you prepare a speech? How do you empower more people? How do you lead? Now, due to finding no guidance, I just let time pass and just let everything go over me. So it was only until when I was 16 years old that my purpose found me. And I remember it was actually a year before my SPM examinations where I got to know about this 3 days training camp through my friends, and that was actually organized by an external organization. So due to pressure from family, friends, and also my teachers, I just thought of giving it a shot and attending it, and that turned out to be the best experience in my life. Now, ever since that, I realized how I went from default mode into being more self-aware, where I was controlling my thoughts, I was able to control the people I was surrounding with, and also I was able to embark on my own personal journey, and I was becoming more aware of my words. And that's when I got a chance to finally speak on stage and share my story with people, with everyone who attended the program, the camp. And I remember how fulfilling that was. I was able to share my story, I was able to empower and lead more people, and my story really resonated with everyone. And while I was speaking, I was just getting more flashbacks from the past when I saw Oprah, and I was like, okay, this is what it feels like. So ever since that experience, I was able to speak, lead, and also facilitate in different motivational programs, training camps, business conferences, and as well as lead teams throughout my entire 3 years journey in college, that allowed me to not only connect but also empower with different people, where I was able to share my story and learn from theirs as well, and that allowed me to stay true to my calling. So during my college journey, it made total sense to me to pursue a career in sales, and that's when I was exposed to B2B sales in a tech company, and this continued for 2 years. And personally, this year I took my sales journey a level deeper, where I enrolled in another course, a mission-led course by Dan Locke, where I not only learned the power of inbound sales, but it also allowed me to connect with people but also help them. And I realized that I was able to do this not just physically when I meet people or when I travel across the world, but I was able to do this remotely, that allowed me to feel a sense of fulfillment. So right now I work with a company called High Ticket Solutions as a business community manager, whose aim is to bridge the gap between India and also US in terms of technology. And which is why I resonate with Mindvalley's mission, which is to empower and also impact more people through non-conventional ways. And I, for one, want to be a part of that journey. I want to drive my next chapter with you, Mindvalley, that will not only allow me to use my skills to impact the lives of other people in a positive way, but also help me to understand their story and also help them discover what makes them fulfilled. which will allow me to grow immensely to the next level, learn continuously from the people across Mindvalley, and also impact massively. Let's impact 1 billion.